Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's YOBOI 3Light and welcome to Boss Rush Island 4. Today we're going to be starting off with a plane on figure 8 in about this spot, and it should be a 3-0-0. Then we're going to use our free druid and just put it right here on strong. If you have less monkey knowledge, you might have to adjust the start slightly, but the main idea is to get down that plane and then get down Benjamin as soon as possible. We get it after the first skull here, and then after the second skull, we can afford to go for a 3-1-0 fighter plane, which will allow it to deal a little bit more damage. We're going to be saving up here for the Operation Dartstorm, as that guy is like at least twice as good. I mean, it shoots out 16 volleys of arrows, but it shoots them out probably 2 or 3 times as fast, and it shoots out double the missiles. It's a very powerful upgrade. I very much love it. And now in about this spot, we're going to put down a wing monkey plane who is going to become a 3-1-0. This, of course, will be buffing up the damage, and the reason it's on Wing Monkey is to help out against the ceramics. You may notice that there is some RNG here, so we're going to go for 2 0-3-0 druids. These are Druid of the Jungle, and then upgrade them to Hard Thorns as that 10th skull's popping, which should allow you to have pretty much no RNG this early. There is like, a 10% chance of death for each of the first couple skulls if you're like a little bit slow or whatever, but from my own experience, my last 5 runs or so have all been deathless, so you should be fine, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're just going to be upgrading these guys to Operation Dartstorms and making them figure infinite. This figure infinite is going to allow them to kind of maximize their damage against the boss. So yeah, just figure infinite and then Operation Dartstorm. We're going to get 5 of these guys in total. The first one, however, is left on figure 8. You're going to notice the one that we had on Wing Monkey is no longer on Wing Monkey. At around 20 skulls, we're going to get up a 3rd and 4th Druid of the Jungle. These guys can all just be on first, and you want them to be 1-3-0s, as that is just, the only cross path that makes sense. And now we're going to go for another Operation Dartstorm, and you might want to buy the camo cross path as we have started to leak camos. I kind of underbuy camo cross paths, which means that later on I'm actually almost leaking the camos, so you can try to avoid that by buying 1 or 2 more. But after that, we're just going to go for a favored trades. This guy is of course going to increase sellback value and just kind of make us a little bit of money here. These boats that I ever end up placing kind of don't do too much, but they do end up making a profit, so they are worth it. I get up a 5th Druid, which is enough to handle the 30s when we have so many Operation Dartstorms, and now I'm turning my last Operation Dartstorm onto Wing Monkey, as well as buying a spy plane and a couple more spy planes so that they can take out the camo balloons that I noticed I'm leaking. It is important to not just be able to watch the guides, but also to be able to play reactionarily, and by the way, at about $18,000 you can sell the 4 planes that are closest to the boat, and you can buy the Sky Shredder. Of course, the Sky Shredder you're going to want to be a 5-2-0 because having camo cross path is very important. Now we're going to get up the tier 4 Druid Monkey, and that should be the original Druid that you place down. It really doesn't matter too much, but yeah. Once you're at about $27,000 or $30,000, sell the other Druids and buy a Spirit of the Forest, who is $35,000 in total, and yeah, just make sure that Sky Shredder is on Wing Monkey. I kind of mess around with targeting some, but it doesn't matter too much. We're going to do a pretty big save up for the bottom path tier 5 ninja now, the Sticky Bomb, Master Bomber, whatever you want to call it, and in order to afford it faster, we will be ending up selling our boat. If this guide helps you out or has helped you out so far, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and use code YOBOI, that is YOBOI, in the BTD6 store. I saw someone comment YOBOI, and that's not a real code. Don't type that. Once we're at about $34,000, we can sell our Buccaneer, and we can get up the tier 5 bottom path ninja on strong targeting, and now we want to get up 20 shinobi stacks. 20 is kind of overkill for the amount of bombs you can throw against the boss. However, because it's on strong targeting and there's a bunch of Moabs on the screen, I enjoy getting 20 shinobi stacks anyways, just because that way it'll be able to deal with not just the boss balloon, but also every single Moab that ever shows up on screen. This guy is very powerful, and the reason you don't see him as much in regular bossing is, of course, because regular bosses don't have up to like 8 tail pieces, but this guy has a ton of tails, which means that we can throw a bomb on every single one of them. It actually makes it way more powerful than even something like the Flying Fortress or maybe even Legend of the Night. I'm not too sure. It is a extremely strong guy once we get up 20 shinobi stacks. You see there that I placed down one of these shinobis as a top path tier 3 just for now. It'll become a tier 5 later. However, we just want one of the ones in the middle to be a top path so that later we can upgrade it to a Grandmaster and it'll have about 20 stacks. If you forget about it, you can always sell a shinobi and get up to a Grandmaster later. So yeah, we get up as many as we can, and once we are nearing the number 20, we might have to upgrade some of them to 301s for the extra range. And now here we're getting up a Balloon Jitsu on close, and we will be going back and buying the bottom cross path on every single one of these shinobis. The rest of this video footage is sped up to 1.75 times speed, so I'm just letting you guys know that you guys really shouldn't be making moves as fast as me, but whatever. Up next, we're going to be getting on Figure Infant a 204 Spectre. This guy is going to help out clean against diamond balloons, which is, you know, a very important part. A lot of people I've seen just kind of die in the later game because, you know, diamond balloons are pretty scary. There's some RNG to it as well, of course, as one of our biggest diamond balloon cleaners is on Wing Monkey. However, once we get the Flying Fortress, that's kind of our biggest one, so, you know, it should all work out. This guy is on Figure Infant so that it stays by the exit, although Wing Monkey would get more boss damage. In my opinion, it is not worth it at all. Next move is going to be a Carrier Flagship on first targeting, of course. This guy has some pretty decent damage by themselves, but we're mostly just using them for the 10% buff given to aces that it gives. It's very nice. And now we're going to get up the Super Brittle. This guy's going to be a 502, and I put it on top of the plane right here, but you just want to put it like kind of in this corner bend area, not too close to the corner, so that it has like a pretty good amount of range utilization. But yeah, this guy's going to help just kind of be an overall damage buffer for the Grandmaster Ninja, who we get next, as well as our aces and Buccaneer. It kind of will help out everything, but like, you know, the sticky bombs from the Master Bomber deal 5,000 damage, so adding 3 doesn't make a noticeable effect, of course. Now on close targeting, we're going to get down a Glaive Lord right here so that it can help out with diamond balloons. It's kind of, in general, better to be safe against diamond balloons than it is to go for something like a Dark Champion. But now that we have the Grandmaster, the Flying Fortress, and the Glaive Lord, we don't really have to worry about diamonds anymore. Like, this is a very, very powerful combination, right? About now, you want the Grandmaster to be on first targeting because it can't be blocked by the Diamond Head anymore, but close targeting is going to do pretty much the same thing. We're going to sell this brick here and sell Benjamin for the tower slot in order to get up a Dark Champion around 100 pops, and, you know, this Dark Champion might be able to add 1 more pop at the very maximum. However, it's just really not going to do too terribly much. At 101 pops, I sell Spirit of the Forest in order to also get up another Dark Champion, and quite frankly, you know, it's not really able to do too much damage, but the Spirit of the Forest wasn't doing much damage either, so whatever. With the Spirit of the Forest sold, you know, you only have a limited amount of time before you die, but that's why we're doing it at the end here, because we're going to die in just a couple seconds. Hope this guide helped you all out. See y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.